Then the Lord brought him outside and said, "Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them." Then he said to him, "So shall your descendants be." Abram believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. In the year 794, a momentous event took place in Japanese history. The capital was moved. The seat of government was transferred to Heian-kyo, present-day Kyoto. There were people who played a crucial role in laying the foundations of this new capital. They were known as the Hata clan. The Hata clan were immigrants who arrived in Japan from the Asian continent between the 3rd and 5th centuries. Some scholars suggest they may have been Jewish or possibly a group of Jews who had converted to Christianity. The Hata clan possessed great economic power and served as close advisors to Prince Shotoku, playing an essential role in the early formation of the Japanese state. They introduced a wide range of technologies to Japan: sericulture, weaving, metalworking, water management, and civil engineering. It is said that the Hata clan invested their own land and vast wealth to help establish the foundation of Heian-kyo, constructed in 794. The name Heian-kyo means the capital of peace. What is intriguing is that the ancient city of Jerusalem also carries the meaning City of Peace. Even more curious, near Jerusalem lies the Sea of Galilee, and near Kyoto lies Lake Biwa. At the dawn of the 20th century, the world was still shaped by empires colliding through force. In 1904, Japan entered a war that would determine the very survival of the nation against the Russian Empire, the Russo-Japanese War. For a country only beginning its path as a modern state, it was an enormous gamble. Wars cannot be fought with weapons and fleets alone. What Japan desperately needed was money, vast amounts of it. At the time, Japan lacked the financial strength to sustain a prolonged war. The government made a critical decision to raise funds overseas. The man entrusted with this mission was one who would later become Prime Minister, Korekiyo Takahashi. Takahashi traveled to the United States, to the world's greatest financial center, New York. But there, he found almost no one willing to lend money to Japan. Disheartened, Takahashi went on to Paris, and there, he encountered one of the most powerful bankers in the world, Jacob H. Schiff, head of the Jewish banking house Kuhn, Loeb and Company, a man who wielded immense influence in international finance. Schiff chose to bet on Japan. Japan issued foreign bonds totaling approximately $450 million at the time, a staggering sum equivalent to roughly $15 to $17 billion today. The majority of these bonds were taken up by Schiff's bank, providing the financial lifeline that enabled Japan to continue the war. Without this support, Japan could not have sustained the conflict. Such was the decisive nature of his assistance. Why did Schiff help Japan? It was not merely business. At the time, the Russian Empire was carrying out brutal persecution of Jews, pogroms, denial of religious freedom, systematic discrimination. Schiff did not want Russia to win. Japan, on the other hand, held no discriminatory policies against Jews and was advancing toward modernization and the rule of law. Schiff regarded Japan as a just and fair nation. His support was rooted in conviction and moral principle. The war ended in Japan's victory. In gratitude, the Japanese government honored Schiff, and Emperor Meiji awarded him a decoration. This moment quietly forged a strong and lasting bond of trust between Japan and the Jewish people. As time passed, opinions and perspectives about Israel and the Jewish people have gradually become more complex and divided. War, in every age, inevitably brings sorrow and pain. Even so, we must not forget those who extended a helping hand in times of need. When Japan was at its weakest, in a distant foreign land, one Jewish banker believed in Japan and stood by her. This is a story, one that is truly important and still deserves to be remembered by all of us. Ancient Israel was once a unified kingdom, comprised of 12 tribes. After the death of King Solomon, the kingdom split in two. To the north arose the kingdom of Israel, centered around the tribe of Ephraim, and consisting of 10 tribes. To the south remained the kingdom of Judah, formed by 2 tribes. Over time, the northern kingdom turned away from God and fell deeply into idolatry. In 722 BC, the kingdom of Israel was destroyed by the Assyrian Empire. Though Assyria itself eventually vanished from history, the people of the northern kingdom never returned to their homeland. They were scattered westward, eastward, across Asia, and into many regions of the world. The Bible preserves expressions suggesting they journeyed to the east. Some believe that traveling along the Silk Road, they eventually reached the far eastern edge of the world, Japan. Meanwhile, in Japan, waves of people arrived from the continent, gradually forming what came to be known as the Yamato people. According to the Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki, the Japanese imperial line began around 660 BC. Since then, Japan's monarchy has continued without interruption. At Ise-Grand Shrine, one of Japan's oldest sacred sites, the shrine buildings are rebuilt and relocated every 20 years in a ritual known as Shikinen Sengu. Here, the sacred is not preserved as a structure where God permanently resides, but as a holy space that moves. This recalls the tabernacle of Moses, used by the Israelites during their journey through the wilderness. At Suwa Grand Shrine, there remains a structure known as the Jikenro. Its size, orientation, and function bear a striking resemblance to the tabernacle described in the Bible. Its length in particular, 40 cubits, matches exactly the dimensions given by God to Moses. One testimony remains. According to Rabbi Tokiah, when Israel's chief rabbi visited Ise-Grand Shrine, he was left speechless by the way the sacred space was guarded. It was remarkably similar to the protective systems once used at the temple in Jerusalem. That so many similarities exist between two cultures separated by such immense distance poses a profound question. Have the memories of the lost 10 tribes truly vanished, or have they been quietly preserved in the Far Eastern land? Japan,